Hello, this is V2001, and this is House of Hell, a fighting fantasy game book by Steve Jackson. Okay, let's play, shall we? Now, in this fighting fantasy game book, you have to play as the hero. Guide your way through a manner. We'll go in hardcore. And you have chosen hardcore mode. Before embarking on your adventure, you must first determine your strengths and weaknesses. To see how brave, lucky, resourceful you are, you must use dice to determine your initial skill, stamina, scores. For those of you who don't know, skill is your combat efficiency. Stamina is your endurance, your HP, your hit points. And look, well, that's just a throw of the dice. Your skill score reflects your general fighting expertise, as it says. The higher the better. Your starting skill is determined by the rolling a single die and adding 6 to that number. Roll for your starting skill. Next, determine your stamina. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, and your determination and courage. The higher your stamina score, the longer you will be able to survive. Your starting stamina is determined by rolling 2 dice and adding 12 to that number. Let's roll. 8 is not bad. I have a starting stamina of 20 out of 24. So this is probably advantageous considering I have a skill of 7, which is the lowest possible. God help me. And now, the thing that will probably decide whether I win or lose this game. Look. Your look score indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. Look, evil, are facts of life in the devilish domain that you are about to explore. Your starting look is determined by rolling 1 die and adding 6 to that number. Roll for your starting look. Oh, thank God! This is good. This is really, really good. Okay, fantastic. So I am a Jerry Dodger. And, my God, we have a new dimension to this game in the form of fear. As well as surviving your adventure by ensuring that your stamina never drops below 0, in House of Hell, you must also avoid being frightened to death. Roll 1 die and add 6 to determine your fear. And if I remember this correctly, you really need a very high fear score. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. Okay. Wow. So, yeah, this is gonna be tough. Basically, I'm Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Wonderful. And now we begin. The rain spatters upon the windscreen relentlessly. You can see no more than a watery gloom as you strain forwards over the steering wheel to see the road ahead. Although the wipers flap valiantly, they are fighting a losing battle as the rain drives harder and harder. Your foot eases off the accelerator. The headlights struggle to light up the road. Damn! Damn! You curse the white-haired old man who sent you off along this bumpy track. Probably he meant the second turning on the left, or even a right turning. The old fool. Perhaps this is his idea of a joke. After all, didn't you notice a mischievous glint in his eye? Something vaguely sinister. But what sort of nonsense is this? Say you've taken a wrong turn and got caught in a downpour in the night. The rain will ease off soon. You can't possibly keep up this deluge for long, and then you'll be able to... Watch out! You spin the wheel frantically to the left to avoid the figure who, from nowhere, shows up in the headlights. The car bumps and jolts as it bounces over the rocky roadside and thumps into a ditch. You collect your thoughts. You are unhurt, but shaken. Then you remember what has happened. The body. You must have hit the figure that appeared. There was no way you could have avoided him. You spring out the car, praying that he is still alive. Your clothes soak up the rain as you hobble back to the road. In the darkness, it is difficult to see anything. But there is no sign of a body. You consider the situation. Are you certain that it was someone and not the trick of a light? Yes. Yes, you remember the arms held up in fright as the car collided and the look of anguish on his face. His face! There was something familiar about that face. A man you recognized. An old man. With white hair. Your heart leaps. No. Impossible. With a shiver of fear, you race back to your car, jump inside, force the key into the ignition and twist it violently. The starter coughs, splutters, and dies. You hit the key again, but this time a single shudder is all the engine can manage. You grasp the wheel with your hands and shake it desperately, as if to force some life into the car. But the battery isn't dead. Your car is certainly not budging from the ditch tonight. Your situation is hopeless, but now the plight of your car is paramount. Where can you get help? You pass a garage at Mingleford, but that was some 20 miles away. As if in answer, a light appears in the distance. Someone has switched on a bedroom light. What a stroke of luck. It was at least 15 miles back that you passed the last house, and you happened to have broken down just a short distance from someone's home. You button up your coat and open the door. From outside the car, you can see the building more clearly. Just ahead, on the left, a drive winds up to a large house. It is a good 5 minutes walk away, and by the time you reach it, you will be drenched. But how else can you call the garage? You can't afford to miss tomorrow's appointment. No. Go you must. Anyway, you'll probably be able to dry off inside phoning the garage. You slam the door, turn up your collar, and set off for the house. A flash of jagged lightning lights it up clearly for you, but in your preoccupation with the rain, the warning from above is wasted on you. The house is old, very old, and in a shocking state of repair. The light in the window is flickering, most likely an oil lamp, certainly not electric. And you don't notice, as you walk up the winding path, a fact that might have just turned you back anyway. There is no telephone line going to the house. As you climb the steps to the front door, little do you realize what fate has in store for you. Tonight is going to be a night to remember. Now, turn over. You climb the creaking steps up to the front door and pause to catch your breath. Even though you ran all the way up the drive from the car, you are soaked through. Your feet are particularly wet. Judging by the number of puddles you stepped into the dark, the drive needs a small fortune spending on repairs. But under the porch, you are out of the storm, and you brush the rain from your clothes before turning towards the door. The rain is still pelting down, but an eerie silence hangs in the air. No lights are on downstairs. You step back off the porch to check the upstairs window, which attracted your attention earlier. Nothing. No lights. The whole place seems to be deserted. But then, do you remember the time? It's 5 minutes to midnight. Everyone in the house has probably gone to bed. An owl hoots in the distance, and a shiver runs down your spine. The situation is a little scary. In the middle of nowhere, at some strange, run-down old house, about to wake up whoever lives inside at midnight. They certainly won't be too pleased. But have you got a choice? If you are going to make the appointment tomorrow, you must reach a telephone to call for help. You step up to the front door, and from the left-hand side of the house, a dull glow catches your attention. A light has been turned on. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least someone is awake. You consider your options. There is an elaborate knocker in the middle of the door, and a bell pull hanging down to the right. Will you rap on the door with the knocker, turn to 357, or will you pull the cord, turn to 275? Alternatively, you could creep round the house to investigate the light by turning to 289. Okay. Not sure that rapping on the door with a knocker or pulling the cord will be any different from one another, unless it's some sort of trap. And the fact that there's two options seems to suggest that one of them is a trap. So, ergo, perhaps the best option would be to investigate the light, which is the most counterintuitive option, but that is what we'll go for. You walk from the porch around the side of the house. A light is indeed on, and it's shining through a window at the back of the building. Do you wish to go round and see if you can see anything at the window? Turn to 345. Or will you walk up to one of the other windows along the side wall to see whether you can enter the house without anyone knowing? Turn to 137. Ooh, is that a good idea? I really don't like the sound of that. No. And if I was a guy and I was trying to find a telephone in the middle of the night, would I really go into someone's house uninvited? No way, no. Okay. We'll go with 345. We'll go around to the window. The lit window is next to a back door which leads into the kitchen. Voices are coming from the kitchen, but you cannot see anyone. Whoever is in there must be standing by the back wall, out of sight. You strain to hear what is being said. There appear to be two people in the kitchen, and they are talking excitedly. Master is getting ready. I'm starting to get excited. I've never been to one before. Do you really think we may be visited? Another man's voice, rather more controlled. replies, "You know, I'm having doubts about this whole affair. She's young. She came here in all innocence. I don't know." The two men walk around the kitchen, and you can see them more clearly. They are both dressed in white gowns. One is a good deal younger than the other. Do you wish to knock on the door to see whether they will let you in? Or will you wait and listen for a little longer by turning to 68? Sod it. The younger man turns to the old one and angrily says, "The Master's teachings are not for the faint of heart. You know of his power and his promises to us all. Perhaps you are no longer strong enough to stay with us." The older man turns away towards the window. He is hiding the look on his face, which is one of nervousness and fear. He realizes that he has said the wrong thing. "No," he stammers. I'll be all right. Just a momentary weakness, brother. Come, let us get on with the preparations." Together, the two men leave the kitchen, blowing out the candles on their way. You wonder what they are talking about. And now, you must choose your next move. Will you try the kitchen door to see whether you can sneak inside, turn to 306? Or will you go back round to the front and knock on the door? No, we're going to knock on the door. I'm tempted, but I just don't think it's something our character would do. A few moments later, the door handle turns slowly, and the door opens. Standing in the doorway is a tall man, dressed in a dark suit with tails. His long face is solemn. "Yes," he asks indignantly. You smile nervously and explain your situation. Your car is broken down, and you need to reach a telephone, and you are soaked to the skin. The man's face remains expressionless. "Come in," he orders. "The Master is expecting you. Follow me." He leads you into a reception hall and tells you to sit down while he informs his master of your arrival. You sit down in a solid carved chair and look around. The reception hall is certainly not what you expected from the outside. It is elegantly decorated with rich tapestries and fine oak panels. A number of portraits line the walls. A sturdy 16th century table is set against one wall. Will you wait for your host to arrive? Or will you study the paintings? Alternatively, will you hunt for a telephone? Okay, so we know there isn't a telephone, so why would we hunt for a telephone? We could study the paintings and, well, waiting for our host just seems like we're skipping an opportunity, so maybe we should study the paintings. Let's turn to 304. 3 portraits are particularly interesting. Will you look at the beautiful young woman wearing a tiara? Or will you look at the middle-aged man wearing half-moon glasses? Alternatively, will you look at an elderly woman with grey hair and a cold expression? Yeah. Oh. Damn it. Regained fear point. You step up to a portrait of the Duchess of Brewster, 1777 to 1845. She looks a stern old woman with an icy stare, a lady of the nobility, no mistake. But as you stare, her image seems to shimmer. You blink and try to look away, but you cannot. Within the shimmering face you can see small movements, and your jaw drops as the portrait's eyes turn towards you. You gain one fear point for the fight. The woman's lips start to move, and you hear a voice saying, "Stranger, you have innocently stumbled into a cursed place. Would that I could bid you escape, but alas, I cannot. There is evil and suffering within these walls, and you may only escape by destroying it. But that is almost impossible. I can tell you this, though. You have an ally close by you who may be able to help. This man is dressed in a grey robe. If you can find him, you may together free this house from the evil that controls it." With these words, the shimmering stops. You rub your eyes and look again, but the painting is still. Footsteps. Someone's coming. The tall man you met earlier walks in, opening the door for another tall man, dressed in a red smoking jacket. "May I present Lord Kelnor, the Earl of Drumer," the butler announces. The Earl holds out his hand, and you shake it. His grip is strong, and his eyes pierce yours. His lips widen to a soft smile. You begin to tell him of your predicament, but he holds up his hand. "Please, I can see that you have been caught in this filthy storm. Let us sit by the fire, and we will see whether we can help. Franklins, tell the cook to prepare some food for our visitor." You protest that you do not wish to be of any trouble, but your host ignores you and leads you into a drawing room where a fire is burning. You take off your coat and sit down. The heat of the fire makes you feel comfortable once more. Franklin's returns with 2 glasses of brandy. Will you relax, drink the brandy, and ask if you can use a telephone, turn to 394, or will you wait to see what he asks you by turning to 111? I'm going to be awfully British and be polite and drink the brandy. The fire and brandy warm you, and you begin to feel more relaxed. You lose 1 fear point. You explain to the Earl what happened on the road, and that you would like to use his telephone to call for the local garage. "I'm afraid our telephone line came down tonight in the storm," he replies. "We will have it repaired tomorrow morning. In any case, the garage will not come out here at this hour. But don't worry. You are perfectly welcome to spend the night here. I am glad of the company. Tomorrow, Franklin's will take you into town." Ah, here is Franklin's now. The butler comes back in to announce that a meal is ready. You both rise to go into the dining room. The dining room, well, The dining room looks magnificent. A long table stretches between two fine chairs and is laid with gleaming silver cutlery. A rich red wallpaper covers the walls, and the room is lit by sparkling chandelier, bristling with candles, which hangs from the ceiling. You take your seat, and the butler moves behind you to offer you wine. Which wine would you like to drink? If you would like to choose the white wine, turn to 269, or if you would prefer red, turn to 395. I like white wine, and I'm not too keen on red. And I'm also distinctly aware that red wine might turn out to be blood. Maybe? Or is that too cliché? Depends on whether Lord Killenor is a vampire or not. I'm going to drink the white wine. The wine is dry and light. Obviously a very expensive vintage, but there is a puzzling aftertaste which you cannot place. Perhaps there is a little sediment in the decanter. No, the taste is more like aspirin. Too late, you realise that your wine has been drugged. You start to raise yourself from the table, but the effects are already taking hold. You stumble, fall back, and crash to the floor. Consciousness fades. You open your eyes. Your head is spinning, and it is some time before you are fully aware of the fact that your hands and feet are bound. The room you are in is empty, but you work out a plan. You will hop over to the window, break the glass, and use it to touch yourself free. Pulling yourself to your feet is awkward, but you manage it, and with a mixture of hops and shuffles, you arrive at the window. Outside, the wind is blowing the rain against the window panes. Will you go ahead and smash the window with your hands, something of a risky business, or will you instead test your luck? Hey, I have wagons and wagons of luck, so I will test my luck. And seeing as I've, wait, what? Oh, I thought that I test my luck. Oh well, never mind. Okay, fine. You grit your teeth and shove your bound hands against the window pane. Rip first. Your first blow is not hard enough to break the glass, so you try again. This time the glass shatters, and some large pieces tinkle to the floor. But your desperate action does not leave you unhurt. You receive a nasty gash to your left wrist, which reduces your stamina by 2 points. Turn to 317. You touch yourself free and massage your wrists to get the circulation moving again. Then, you walk over to the door and try it. It is not locked. You try the handle, open it a little, and look outside. Your room is on the first floor landing. Facing the door is a balustrade, and looking over the banisters you can see the entrance hall below. To your left, there are 2 doors in the right corner of the landing, which runs along to the right. If you wish to go this way, turn to 287. Looking to your right, the landing runs past another door and then turns to the left. To go this way, turn to 33. Okay. I'm going to go, well, I mean, it's a coin toss, so I'll go with 287. You walk up to the 2 doors in the corner of the balcony. The one on your left is named Balthus, and the one in front of you has no name. If you wish to enter the Balthus room, turn to 299. If you would rather go through the other door, turn to 86. If you choose to ignore these doors and continue round the landing, turn to 193. Ha. Balthus room? Nope. That don't sound good. I'm gonna go for the door without the name. The door opens into a narrow passageway, which ends at a window. There is a door halfway along the left-hand side, and a sign on the door identifies it as the Diabolus room. Diabolus? Really? Diabolus? Oh, God help me. If you wish to try this door, turn to 13. 13? That sounds like a clue. If you wish to investigate the window instead, turn to 110, and if you are not keen on to do either, you would prefer to go back through the door and continue along the landing. Well, I'm not going to wuss out of looking through a window. Curtains are drawn across the window, and you approach cautiously. You gingerly pat the folds in the curtain and are relieved to find nothing there. Although they seem to be safe, you are still on your guard and draw them apart. As you do so, a thunderclap booms outside and makes you jump. But you are safe. A perfectly ordinary window is uncovered. However, the heavy iron bars on the outside are a little worrying. Through the window you can see nothing but the rain running down the pane of glass. But curiously, the rain is avoiding one area. Could it be that the wind is blowing the rain away from this one corner? You bend down to take a closer look. Written in the condensation which is formed on the glass is a message. You read 3 words. Mordana Inhabita. You repeat this message to yourself and then rub it off the window in case anyone else should see it. This message may be useful to you, and you will realise when it is. Now you must head back to the landing and turn left. A short distance further on, you come to the top of the main staircase which leads downwards. Immediately opposite the staircase is an unmarked door. Do you wish to go downstairs? Maybe you wish to try the unmarked door. Or will you continue around the landing? I am going to try the unmarked door. I haven't opened any doors yet and I'm feeling adventurous. You step into a small storeroom and close the door behind you. There are shelves on the left and right walls on which various household objects are stored. In front of you, in the wall facing the door, is another door. What do you want to do? Will you search through the things on the shelves, turn to 83, or perhaps you want to try the door opposite? Otherwise you could return to the landing, turn to 233. I am going to search the shelves, because what danger could lie on an innocent little shelf? Ah, brilliant. Okay, great, I have a weapon. Fantastic. Okay. Wait. Various items of cutlery, cutlery and food are kept in the storeroom, including a sharp meat knife, which you hide under your coat to use as a weapon in the future. This sharp knife adds 3 skill points in a fight. On one shelf you find several cloves of garlic, which you also take, and also means that there is a vampire nearby, without a shadow of a doubt. There is also an unlabelled bottle of white liquid on another shelf. If you wish to drink the liquid, like a bloomin' imbecile, turn to 362. Nope. 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 Nobody nope. I am not that dull. It could be anything. It could be bloomin' toilet duck for all I know. If you would prefer to ignore the liquid and try the door at the back of the storeroom, turn to 255. The only other alternative is to leave by the door you entered and return to the landing. Turn to 233. Now, I have found something really useful in this room, and I have a feeling like this door is just there to tempt me into a whole world of pain and suffering and torment. Yeah, I'm not too fond of the idea of trying that door. And there's nothing to make me try it, so I'm gonna go to the landing. It's not that far out. A few steps past the unmarked door is another unmarked door. Okay, if you wish to try this one, turn to 98. Yeah, alright. Whoa! Wait. No way. Isn't that Franklin's? Oh, man. You open the door cautiously at first, but all you see is darkness, so you swing it wide open. Aye! Says your cartoon self. You scream out loud as a body tumbles forward on top of you. The body is that of an old man, and judging by the expression on his face, his death was not a pleasant one. You gain 3 fear points. Oh, hell's bells. You panic and run off round You panic and scarper. You jump into Scooby-Doo's arms and hug him. You panic and run off around the landing. Brilliant. In a cloud of dust. That's precisely my shape. Turn to 374. The landing turns right and a passage branches off. You may either turn left down the passageway and pass a couple of doors before turning left again by turning to 339, or you may turn right, following the landing. I'm going to follow the landing. You follow the landing round past a wooden door which bears the name Tuttivilus. Tuttivilus. You may try this door by turning to 155. Straight ahead, the landing ends at a panelled wall, and the passageway turns to the left to follow the passage round. Turn to 175. Bear with me one moment, and I'll look up Tuttivilus. It must mean something. Oops. Tuttivilus was a demon said to work on behalf of Belphegor. That would be the demon prince of sloth. Lucifer or Satan to introduce errors into the work of scribes. That's okay. Tuttivilus. Jolly. So it's going to be a library then, right? A library may contain useful information, so I'm going to open that door. You step into the room. It is stylish bed. Oh, it's a stylish bedchamber, beautifully decorated. But one thing disturbs you immediately. The windows are barred. Perhaps, being so far from anywhere, they are designed to keep intruders out, rather than keep guests in. In the centre of the room is a 4-poster bed. You walk over and test the mattress. It feels very comfortable. By now you are in need of a rest. Will you climb into bed? Hell no. Or will you walk over to the window and take a look outside? I don't want to do any. I really just want to leave. Why would I climb into bed? That is like the most awful decision. Have you seen Freddy Krueger and the bed dream that gobbles up the innocent victim, there is no way I am climbing into that bed. Okay. You draw back the curtains and peer outside. The light in the room makes it difficult to see, so you draw back the curtains and peer outside. The light in the room makes it difficult to see, so you pull the curtains behind you. With your face pressed against the bars, you look through the window. There is a rumble of thunder in the distance, and the rain is still beating down, making it difficult to see anything. A fork of lightning flashes down from the sky and lights up a sight which makes you cry out loud. Outside your window, dripping wet and swaying in the wind, is a ghastly vase. A long dead figure, hanging in the noose, is staring at you with lifeless eyes. You step back and fling the curtain shut to hide the horrendous sight. The face is familiar. The old man in the village. You gain 3 fear points. Okay. I now have 6 fear points, and if I have a look at my adventure sheet, I am now almost just dead. I'm almost dead. There's no coming back from this. All it takes is just one tiny little tap on the shoulder from behind, and I collapse to the floor in just a puddle of tears and sweat and and nerves. So what I'm hoping for is something to calm my nerves somewhere, sometime soon. What will you do now? Until then, I will try to avoid as many frights as humanly possible. Will you dive into bed and sleep through the night? Turn to 2, 3, 1. God help me. Exactly what Shaggy would do from Scooby-Doo. Or will you run out onto the landing? Oh no, I'm not going onto the landing. You know what? I'm going to go into bed. I'm going to just curl up with the sheets around me and... What? Ah, God damn it. You climb into bed and blow out the candle. Anxious thoughts race through your mind. The old man who gave you the wrong directions, your accident, the sinister atmosphere in the house. Soon, your wariness gets the better of you, and you drift off to sleep. In a disturbed slumber, you begin to dream. You are being chased by a swirling cloud of gas. You are trying to run from it, but the faster you run, the slower you go. The cloud is catching you. As you desperately try to avoid it, it engulfs you. You begin to cough and choke. It is stifling your breath. You wake with a start. Your head is buried in the pillow, and the bedclothes are holding you down. They feel heavy, and you must strain to fight for air, gaining 2 fear points as you realise that something supernatural is happening here. And you have sadly reached your maximum fear score. And I die of fright. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed House of Hell. That was considerably shorter than I thought it would be. Maybe I'll play it again sometime in the future. But yeah, that was pretty fun. And now we know that Shaggy from Scooby-Doo can't really survive without Scooby there to hold him in his arms. This has been V2001, signing off for now. Godspeed, I guess. I don't know how to say goodbyes. I'm terrible at saying goodbyes. Bye!